Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live, and I'm still listening to the Brendan Rodgers press conference that just came out on the Celtic YouTube channel just to try and get some of that insight, some of that detail that we need for the deadline drama that we're set up for today, guys, because I have got midweek teams to get made. This is how I'm sitting. Now, I'll let you guys catch up in the chat, but I'm listening to Brendan here. Feel free to let me know thoughts and feelings, opinions, and yeah, I might need to delete one or two of these. So, I'm happy. I don't think Ida's going to make the starting lineup. Engels over Hatate over Bernardo, and McGregor over all three. Yeah. So, Brendan's words here about McGregor make me think it's 50-50. Bit quiet mic wise. Yeah, I've maybe just moved that away from my face. Sorry. I think AJ is safe. Alistair Johnson's good to go. Hey Liam, fist bump to everyone on arrival. I'm just listening to the end of Brendan's presser. It's only got a few minutes left, but I'm just trying to get all the insight. It's only on for another 3 minutes. But it sounds like Vickers is in the squad, will get minutes, but he did mention that there's not much training between matches and it's a squad game, etc. So I think it might mean that Vickers comes off the bench again. This is a question about consistency that's coming in. Hey, Boyson, I'm with you. I get the Maeda trepidation. I think Forrest could start. He did the player press conference. Hmm. Best of Europe. I've not actually done it. Let's do it now. Oh, Falcone, Carnesecchi, and Okoye stand out for me. Okoye being away. What did I tell you about Udinese, guys? They're about to go on a wee run. That Cagliari game, the Lecce game, looking good for me. Okoye here. Away to Venezia or at home to Monza. Probably go Carnesecchi. DeMarco feels he's an easy take. I like McTominay, by the way, for mid. Big player, big game. Take McSauce. Hmm. Hmm. There we go. That's the press conference over. It's sorted. I've got a feeling Trusty Scales starts this. I've got no idea about McGregor. And Ida might still make the bench. I wouldn't rule that out, but I don't think he's going to start. How many minutes we got to the deadline? 18. I quite like the idea of playing Francisco Conceição up front. Lautaro. I think I would take Lautaro away to Emplate. Actually, is maybe a bit of a good player, good fixture. I know it's away. His L5 isn't fantastic, but I think that does work out well enough. And then, yeah, for fifth man, Ravella might not be a bad shout. His AA has been incredible, just missing a decisive. And away to Como, that could be a game that suits him. Yeah, maybe we'll go with Ravella, to be honest with you. CDK is on good form at the moment. They've got a good match. Where is CDK? Is he a forward? Or is he a mid? He's a mid, right? So let's go. But yeah, let's do CDK, McTominay, DeMarco, and Lautaro, and I think I'll captain CDK. Ali can. Lookman and Retigui both very, very good. I like CDK a little bit better if he is going to play. I think McTominay can get 15 all around in a decisive in that game. DeMarco's peak potential. Martinez's multiple decisive potential. And the goalkeeper, I think it's just maybe, yeah, the pick of the go. So I think Kyogo and Kun are definitely my nailed on forwards I've got here. Alistair Johnson's are fine. The Valley is probably fine as well. But I'm now actually a tad worried. Oh, I don't know if I'm a tad worried about the McKeown one, because Rogers got asked a question about McKeown. And the question was, like, has he nailed in a spot? The first three words he says is no, no, no. And then he goes on a bit of a tangent about how, you know, like the squad and everyone needs to fight for their place and all the rest of it. And it makes it sound like he could just get dropped like that tomorrow night. But then at the end of the statement, he does say he'll be in to contribute for this game. So undoubtedly going to feature McKeown. Maybe there's a little 10% of doubt creeped into my mind that he might start or not. No mention of Hatate throughout the presser. And I am inclined to think maybe Vickers does get rested. And if that was the case, then maybe I would go Trusty Valley and change McKeown out of midfield in here. No, actually, I want to keep this. It's the McKeown, but is the... Do I have a say? Could I play Shaqiri in here for just a bit of safety? Is kind of what I'm thinking. But I kind of want a Celtic team in this division to smash. But Shaqiri away to Young Boys isn't great. Could play McGrath at home to them. He could do really well. He does well in the big games, you know. So, I mean, he does well. It's 80 plus. So, McGrath's definitely worth a shout, I think. But team's looking good, Quinny. Feels like a big game week is incoming. Thank you, Connor. Let's hope so. Fingers are crossed. But yeah, I'm a little bit more nervous on that McKeown for Team 1. Then it's kind of classic for Team 2 and 3, kind of on a par. We've got the AJ in here. I'm not touching this Alistair Johnson. I'm quite tempted, but to get Trusty into the fold, and I think it would probably be this team. So if we put Trusty in here in defence, I do think he's got a chance to start this now. We've then got McGrath, we've got Shaqiri, we've got Dyson. We could play a classic, and that would allow us some room to manoeuvre. I don't know if Hatate mid is maybe the shout or the way to go about this or whatever. But it feels like they're going to start, and I'll be raging if I miss out on them. This is in Division 4. It will be in Division 3 at the time, so it's a low priority lineup, so I don't mind that. I just maybe worry if I've got too much midfield power in here. We could bring a classic player in, of course, like defender Hatate, forward Hatate, maybe even. We do have Lennon Miller away to Dundee United. We could James Forrests everywhere. We could use him. I certainly think he will feature. Just don't know if he'll be from the start or not. But with him doing the player interview thing, I wouldn't actually be surprised if if Forrest did start this one. Do you know, I might actually drop the Dyson out of this for the Hatate forward. That feels like it could be a good move. So if we've got Hatate forward in here as the classic, yeah, we've got no Dysons anymore, because I've got that little bit of paranoia as well that Dyson might not be the one. Kyogo's going to start. I think that's almost nailed at this point. Kun didn't start the weekend. We'd be super surprised if he didn't start tomorrow night. Tate forwards is a bit of a cheat code, maybe a better cheat code than the defender card in this game week. And then double fullback over here with McKeown. I can live with that. Double centre back over here with Vickers. I don't mind that in case Vickers does start. And then even if he does, he comes off the bench, but doesn't he? How good did he do off the bench the other day? If we imagine it was the same thing. 51, not bad by the way, for 22 minutes. Shaq being in season feels so cheat code. It is very useful. It's very, very useful for that. Opinions on scales and angles. And again, angles is kind of the missing piece of this equation. I've not got an angle, so I don't really need to wrestle with that in particular. But again, it does feel the angles would start. 12 minutes to the deadline here, so I've still got some headaches to get rid of here. But I don't think playing 2 Vickers is the way to go. And I feel that by having basically 5 defenders, I'm exposing myself to one of the teams letting me down a little bit. And I don't know if I want to make that trusty Vickers or Scales. I need to make that one of them. The lowest priority, less chance of starting. All these guys played 90 minutes, but because it was Valley that came off for Vickers the other day, rather than Taylor, who is also kind of half back in the fold. So, guys missed a star. CCV, the start. I don't know, mate. I don't know. He's definitely going to be in the squad, but Brendan's comments were something like, there's not a lot of training time, so they were on the training pitch today, of course. He played like half an hour, 22 minutes at the weekend. I'm now of the opinion that Trusty starts this and Vickers gets another like 30, 40 minutes and then probably starts Aberdeen is the way to go. So if I think that's the case, then I'm kind of tempted to, I've got 2 Vickers here. I kind of really want to ditch one of them. Let's say we look at this one, which has an Alistair Johnson in it, which is pretty secure. We've got Kyogo and Hatate that I think are pretty nailed. Who could be? We could use Lennon Miller. That wouldn't be too bad. We could use a Forest as well. And on 15% for Forest or for Dyson, we don't have a Dyson anywhere. That multiplier will make up a bit of a difference. If they don't have a great all-around, as long as they get their decisive. So it might be a week to play Forest. I thought Celtic were a clean sheet machine, Michael. 2 defenders seems fine to me, but it's the jeopardy on like if Vickers doesn't start. That's it's not the defence play, it's more the starting 11 play I'm worried about. We've got under 10 minutes left to the deadline. We're just getting there now, but yeah, it's a really shaky one. I don't have the confidence to play Bernardo's because I think if Bernardo plays, it's in the McGregor role, and he didn't really score that great there at the weekend. Is McGregor worth a punt as well? Because he might just come straight back in. Lennon Miller is pretty safe, but it's just this is a Division 1 team, and it is SPFL only. So I suppose maybe I've redone my teams so many times today, and part of the way the best route to success I think is going to be here is getting 5 starters, and maybe a bit of that is playing some of the non-Celtic cards with the guys that are safer, like a Lennon Miller. But a Lennon Miller, well, let's put it like this: Lennon Miller is probably has a good chance to outscore Vickers from the bench, and is definitely going to start. So I think I might do that. We might sling. McBride thinks McKeown. Everyone calls him McGowan, by the way. His name is McKeown, sorry, with a C. I don't know why that annoys me. It doesn't annoy me, but everyone calls him McGowan, but it's McKeown. See, I don't really care that much, but maybe it feels like I do. But anyway. And then we've got a Vickers over here. We've put that Hatate in. What I'm thinking here is I maybe put Trusty here, go double centre back. So I've got a double centre back, a double full back, one safe with Alistair Johnson, and then do we? Ida is in a boot. He's going for a scan today, and Rogers didn't like rule him out of the squad. He didn't say that he's not with the squad or anything like that. But it's just like at this stage, I think it would be mad for him. It would be mad for us to imagine him starting essentially. So yeah, do you know what I might do for a quick peek? I might actually go on. the most underused tool on my channel, which is the Sorare data lineup builder. So if we have a wee peek at that, let's go look at in season, see what it would do. Yeah, like it thinks Rangers at home's a good game for McGrath. And what does it think of, let's say save on that. What does it think of the Shaqiri game? How does that look? Just an A rated. Do you know, because if I'm not going to play a Celtic mid, playing a mid that's playing against Rangers, it's Irish as well, it feels somewhat appropriate. I really don't want to break this team up. I've just got a feeling that McKeown will start, but I don't want that heartache if he doesn't. It's a tricky one. I think I will move Trusty next to Scales here. And then I'll probably put Vickers in that team. Or actually, I'm not going to. I'm going on a gamble here. Let's move Scales into defence. Let's try and avoid risks, because that's kind of, we've got a wee bit of a momentum there with playing that Lennon Miller in that situation. Do we have anyone else that is like not too risky? It would be like Forrest or Dyson, wouldn't it? 'Cause you just again know they're going to feature, and it's just about if they get enough minutes and if they get a decisive. Yeah, 6 minutes left. I need to make these decisions pretty pronto. I think this team could work okay. Trusting McGrath. I'm actually maybe talking myself into thinking the McGrath game's much better than. I'm so torn. Yeah, so it feels like this team, the first team I've got here, is quite safe. Like Johnson, Hatate. I think Hatate plays. I suppose Hatate McKeown is kind of a thing, isn't it? In terms of covering both bases. We've got a McGrath, we've got a Shaqiri. It's just this extra Vickers. And so if we play Trusty in there, I think Trusty starts, is the way I read it at the moment. So let's imagine we put Trusty in here. Double centre back team, Captain Scales, because that's the way we roll. We've got a double fullback team, and then we've got one safe AJ. I think we would then play the defender Hatate in here, or would we just go with it? I think it's the Vickers or the defender Hatate to go into this. Vickers could start and get like 60 minutes. And then we've got Trusty coming off the bench elsewhere. And then we would need a Dyson up front here, wouldn't we? If we did that. So if Carter Vickers starts, I need Dyson to start. I don't mind that too much, but it feels like if I just went with Hatate here. That feels a bit safer, and it is like peaky power. I really am quite kind of tempted to put this McGrath into this team now. Upgrade him. Play Dyson and Forrest. Sling the McKeown. No. Let's double centre back. I'm happy with it. I'm kind of shiting it, to be honest with you. The defence has really got me in a headspin. But I think part of the answer is, yeah, I think part of the answer is going to come from putting McGrath up a gear. But it doesn't need to be into this team, right? So I'm just going to leave this D1 team, right? I'm not going to touch it because I'm just kind of set on. I like it and I'm at the risk of undoing it. But it's this team here where I think I'll put McGrath in. Scales is the defender. Who's in our lineup? McGrath. McGrath against them, or the Tatis. That's captain. Let's just go Captain Scales. Yeah, Scales is playing. Yeah, the 90% thing just puts you off, doesn't it? That's what I feel's happening to me a little bit. Lennon Miller makes this a bit more. Yeah, so we've got like the same kind of team essentially here for two lineups, but we're trading the wild card player around. And do you know what I might do just to. Let's go double Balcombe. Let's do that, okay? And then the final team We've got Laidlaw. We could play Trusty. We've got Shaqiri as the mid already. Shaqiri. We've got Hatate. Let's change that for Maeda. And then we've got a Forest, which I'm happy to play here. And then we can go classic in defence. Or is this where we just play Trusty anyway? Just play Trusty. Or Vickers. Or dinghy them both and go Hatate. Yeah. Captain Rio, because why not? And this is a lower division team. We're taking the safety of Forest. So I've played no Carter Vickers and I've played no Trusty. Oh, Bernardo. Is this a classic team? Yeah, it is classic. That's good. So let's just put 15% Forest in here. And then up top, 15% Dyson. And then the last centre back we've got is Trusty. Let's pop him in here. And then let's go Captain Forest. Just because YOLO. It's a 4-man team. We just want that to get promoted right at the end. That is the last squad. And yeah, we should be... Oh, I've got a training team to fix. A defender for. Which we can just put that Vickers in there. So I'm going on a limb with Scales. Scales starting. I'm going on a limb with that. I think AJ is safe. I think Valley is safe. How many Hatates have I played? 3. I would really like to keep that down to 2. But I can't do that without then going on a limb on Trusty or Vickers. I'm trusting my gut and playing CCV as captain in Div 1. Don't be blinded by your loyalty. Yeah, aye, so just go with the Miller. We'll take the McGrath. We've got the Shaqiri here. We've got less than a minute. I don't know if I make any changes, I'll be fucking a team, so I'm not going to do it. This is where we're at. We've got a 4-man effort here with Vickers and Trusty. And a goalkeeper that won't play. If I had a goalkeeper that would play, this team would feel a little bit better as a hedge, wouldn't it? I think we're in, by the way. I think the game week just juttered. 15 seconds. I've then got 3 Hatates out, so I'm really tied to him. Captain Scales, McKibben, Shaqiri, Miller. Yeah, I've got a good mix of mids. And I've got 2 Kyogos, 1 Dyson, and a Kun. Vickers won't want his position to be played in. I don't know. I think with Brendan saying in the press conference that he's not had training, like, I definitely think that they'll be building him into minutes for the Aberdeen game. And I don't know whether they give him the same as the weekend, another 20 or 30, and then he gets 60 against Aberdeen. That kind of plan, you know. I think we're in the deadline, guys. I've played CCV the last 3 weeks and he's not played. Yeah, mad frustrating. I feel that pain. Let's hit the wee refresh button. So yeah, we're in and we're live. This is my all-star team. We've got Captain Memphis. We've got Bernabe. We've got Forsberg and Angelino with Skorupski and goals. Let's cross our fingers out of 6,000 people. That does pretty well. 44,000 people trying to get the trip to the Italian stadium, the match day experience. I'm not holding my breath on it since we picked a team very last minute. And then, yeah, the Banter Years squad, which is now Div 1 in season. It's a full Celtic rig out. And it's, I think, the safest nailed team I've got. We've now got the Celtic built team into Division 3, which is a cash division as well. And I think it's kind of safe. I wouldn't be surprised, but if Dyson and Forest, one of them's on the bench, one of them starts, they share the 90 minutes between them. And I'm kind of there with that because I just didn't want to get into the centre-back stuff. But Hatate could just fuck us. You just know that's the way it could go. But I don't think he will. Lennon Miller in here. Bit of a safe play. And then McGrath and the alt squad. This could smash, you know. So, yeah, quite happy. Quite confident. Quite comfortable with the training's all done and everything's all hunky-dory and ready to go. Awesome, guys. Awesome. There's a bunches here that have joined us live. Let us know what decisions you made, Celtic-wise, especially for this midweek. Did you drop Vickers? Did you play Scales? Did you play Trusty? What did you do for midfield? Did you go and get a McKeown? Did you have one? Did you not? Let us know how you all kind of shook out with it as well. Did you catch the Brendan Rodgers press conference? It only came out like half an hour ago. I managed to just about catch it before we came on. Or I was listening to most of it before we came on. I managed to finish it just as we came on live to get the latest and greatest of intel for us. But I just got the teams populated again. Or I think I went ahead, didn't I, and filled teams out because I've got Van der Voort back and We know Celtic at the weekend. I've got all these contender keepers that are under 23 qualified that can maybe play under 23 and stuff. So I had a wee look ahead and a wee bit of a Nathan. What do you think the 11 is? I think now after listening to the press conference, the 11 is going to. I don't know, but the midfield is really a question mark. But I think the back four is Johnson, Trusty, Scales, Valley. I think that's what's going to start in midfield. I don't know how you drop McKeown or Hatate, and then it's Bernardo, McGregor, and Engels is the question mark, really. That's a tough one. McBride thinks, and I've speaking to the guys on Axom, I did that earlier today. They could see Bernardo starting with Engels in midfield. We really wouldn't rule that out either. But then at the cost of who? Hatate or McKeown? I'm playing with Kawasaki cards in contender already to let me down again this season. Yeah, Kawasaki. They've loved to do that for the last couple of years, haven't they? And then up front, I think it's going to be Kuhn, Kyogo, Forrest. Drop Vickers because I have backups. Yeah, it's kind of what I did as well. Even from the bench, 45-55 is possible. We've seen that at the weekend, of course, but that only saves you from the team like dying. It doesn't help you win a division, which is hopefully in these midweeks, these little game weeks, that's what we should be aiming for, is trying to get that edge and try and maybe actually win something out of turn. But guys, I dropped a video live at 3 o'clock, so like 3 minutes ago. I had a bit of an update on my strategy. You'll see here now I've got 4 in-season SPFL goalkeepers. And I did a video kind of just going over my strategy, what I've learned so far this season, little tweaks and adjustment on the path that we're on, as it were, the lessons we've learned so far, etc. So be sure to check that out when you do as well. It's just went live 3 minutes ago. I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, we've been here for some deadline drama. I think I just about worked it out. We're only tied to 1 Dyson. It's 3 Rios. It still makes me a bit uncomfy because he does have some jeopardy. 1 McKeown is fine. I went with Scales again. I could imagine imagine these were the defenders that started. Fucking Trusty and Carter Vickers. It could happen. It's not unimaginable, and that's going to make me wish I had a 5th keeper that was playing this game week. So anyway, that's by the by for this one. But yeah, thanks to everyone that did tune in for us to watch this live. If you watched this after we're live, I hope you had fun. It's only half an hour, so hopefully it's a nice wee stream for you to catch up on. And we did a great member session last night doing gallery reviews and all that good stuff. We'll be back on Thursday to do lineup building. And I think there's some more stuff booked on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Me and McBride Ace will be at the game tomorrow night, so stay tuned on Satara here, all one word for all the Celtic content and all that good stuff. And just try to think what else is going on. I think I had something else planned for tonight, but I don't remember what it would have been. Looking forward to it. 15% classic outfielders can justify the in-season keepers. In-season SPFL over the winter should be huge for you. No spoilers in the video, Connor, but you're a wise man. Let me say that. You're a wise man. Yeah, the 15% cards make a big difference. Classic and in-season, really, to be honest with you. And yeah, I think I might get away with this 4-man team doing okay because Forrest is on 15, Maed is on 15, the Carter Vickers is on 12, and the Trusty's on like 11 with the in-season bonus and stuff. So 800 entrants. How many get promoted? Top 15%. So let's do the quick maths on the old calculator. What is the bubble? For this 4-man team in Division 3, which is probably not going to be that competitive, we have 824 entrants. 15% of that is the top 123.6. Oh, reward stream, Charlie, of course. Yeah, we've got rewards to do tonight. We've got some boxes to open. We'll have a card to give away as well. I tried to give away an in-season Maziz, but the winner of that just hasn't redeemed it, just hasn't claimed it. So we're rolling that over, and we're going to give that away tonight. I don't think we've got any limited essence on the cards, sadly, for the members to get a giveaway on this one. But we'll open some boxes, we'll have some fun, and we'll have a wee card to give away as well. I'll maybe even see if I can get a guest in. That'll be fun, won't it? We'll have a good night on a Tuesday. And yeah, sorry, notifications and stuff are coming in. But yeah, all good crack. We'll be back for rewards tonight, of course. We've got some divisions getting promoted and all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's live on the channel now. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Good luck this game week. Mo the hoops.